What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Promethean Tides. I'm General, and as always, I'm joined by Breaker. What's going on, Breaker?
Coming to you from the world of digitized cyberspace and robots, Elon Musk will save us all and send us to the moon. This time, not with Dogecoin.
Perhaps you can find a different coin to do so with. And we are also joined by yet another time. I think this is like the third or fourth time. Jesus God, what's going on, Jesus?
Hey, thank you so much for having me. Really appreciate it.
All right, cool. So, we have some interesting stories this week, and I figured that we'll just pop into the first one, get this party started. So, right. So, Senator Lindsey Graham has proposed a federal level abortion bill. He wants to ban it. Excuse me. He wants to ban abortion at the federal level. Now he's introducing this bill, of course, into a Congress that is majority Democrat. So this bill has no chance of passing whatsoever, and it kind of seems like some sort of weird virtue signaling. I've never been a big fan of Senator Lindsey Graham, but
No.
what are our thoughts on banning abortion at the federal level? Breaker, I think you might have a spicy opinion on this. So what do you think? Let's go with you first.
I think the Republicans are kind of shooting themselves in the feet over this. They think that now that Baidu is so massively unpopular that they can play the just go crazy with your political views and push all the shit forward. They don't seem to realize that the leftists have like decades long of institutional entrenchment backing them up on all their crazy shit that they do. So now that they've got an anchor point, which is the Roe v. Wade overturn, they think they can act like crazy leftists and say like, hey, having your rapist baby is a healing process actually, and they think they can unilaterally ban abortion now everywhere on a federal level. And I just don't think that's the case, and I think they're fucking deluded and crazy.
But Breaker, would you support in theory, a federal level ban on abortion?
I don't even know anymore, to be honest, because if we're all being honest with each other, the kind of people getting abortions are the kind of people we don't want any more of anyway. They're kind of doing the thing you can't mention on YouTube to themselves without our intervention, so fuck it.
Oh, that word that starts with E-U-G. Yeah. Well,
Eugene, I know that guy. I know Eugene.
He's a
That's
great
good
guy.
Eugene, he's great, yeah.
Yeah.
It's an old name.
Yeah.
It goes way back.
Yeah, it's biblical.
His last name is Nix.
Yeah.
Right. Good old Eugene Nix. Jesus, what do you think of the idea of a federal level ban on abortion?
Well, I think it's stupid. They just overturned Roe v. Wade, Dobbs v. Jackson. Giving up the states. I mean, it's like it would be like celebrating your sobriety by doing a keg stand. It just doesn't make any sense.
I love the metaphor. Yeah. Yeah. This is incredibly stupid. On multiple levels. I think number one.
Yeah.
The strength of the overturning of Roe v. Wade and the Republican argument behind it was we kick it back to the states. The states are allowed to do what they want. California can have 14th trimester abortions if they are so inclined, because they love to do that kind of shit. And someplace like Texas or West Virginia, they can go fuck you, no abortions, and that's fantastic. Fucking states' rights. For him to then come back and say, actually, no, now we want it to be federal, all states have to ban abortion. I completely disagree with that. I may not be a big fan of abortion myself, but fucking A, I'm even less of a fan of the federal government having way too much goddamn power. It should be a states' rights.
Yeah, and also strategically, this just doesn't make any sense. I mean, could you maybe, I don't know, wait until after the midterms? This is just so stupid.
Yeah, no, it makes the Republican Party seem unhinged and authoritarian, which is not the image. Stupid. It's not the image that we want to be going for.
We're not trying to be like Democrats here, so come on.
Well, I guess
I think they are trying to be more like Democrats because I think in their mind it's like, okay, Democrats doing crazy shit seems to work. So what if we do our shit, but in the same crazy way Democrats do? And like I said, they don't have the institutional multi-decades-long backing of communists and fucking socialists and whatever thing it is with IST in the fucking schools, in the fucking media. They don't have this nationwide programming of the fucking cultural zeitgeist to fall back on like the fucking left does.
Yep.
Yeah, but I don't want the Republicans to go in this direction whatsoever. Like this, of course, Lindsey Graham, I'm not quite sure if he's actually considered to be a Republican. He might be more of a rhino, but like this is the kind of shit that I would imagine coming out of the Bush administration. I was against the Bush administration, and I would still be against it today because they were a bunch of authoritarian assholes. This is Lindsey Graham being an authoritarian asshole. I will not stand for that. Fuck that shit. That's not the direction that I want the party to be moving in. Fuck this guy. Also,
no.
I'm pretty sure that he's just straight up sabotaging the Republican Party. I think he might be being paid off by the Democrats or the communists or something.
Yeah.
This is so dumb.
He could be, but hey, maybe we could bring Bush and Dick back just one more time. Hey, I'd love to meet Dick Cheney and ask him to sign my waterboard. Hey, Dick, or his daughter too. She supports waterboard. Yeah. Hey, Liz, could you sign my waterboard, please?
Oh yeah. Oh, good old Liz, wonderful person. Now, in fact, Mitch McConnell, actually, he said no to Lindsey Graham, which is good. Honestly, I didn't think that Mitch McConnell was good for anything. But throughout the past few years, he has done like one or two decent things. So he's out of all the Republicans that exist, he is not the worst Republican. We can at least give that to him. I think there's a video here, so we can actually just listen to this real quick.
Facebook is building tools to enhance safety and security.
Oh, nice.
More than
okay,
40 million
we got a fucking
Facebook
ad.
Hey, we got Boomer Book.
Facebook ad.
Boomer Book, yeah.
Oh, we love Facebook.
Facebook.
Yeah, we love Facebook.
Let's get the Zuck Bucks. Come on.
Top Republican Mitch McConnell shooting down Senator Lindsey Graham's bill that would ban abortions nationwide after 15 weeks of pregnancy.
In terms of scheduling, I think most of the members of my conference prefer that this be dealt with at the state level.
Thank you.
So as McConnell said there, this bill runs counter to...
All right, that's all we had to hear from Mitch McConnell. It should be handled at the state level. So fuck yeah, actually based McConnell.
Way to go, Mitch. Come on, Turtle Man.
Yeah, the fucking turtle rhino finally said something that's not just capitulatory bullshit for once, I guess. Yeah. A broken clock right twice a day, I suppose.
Yeah, so there's that. I don't think it's going to go anywhere. It's not really that big of a deal, but it is going to end up pissing off the left. And what that does is it's actually going to drive them to the polls, or not to the polls, to the voting booths. It's going to drive them there, and you're going to get more lefties that don't know anything about politics, but they fucking love abortion, and they're really upset, so they actually get off their couch and they go to vote. Which, I'm not super duper in favor of. Like, everyone should be allowed to vote, but I'm just saying I don't want to encourage uninformed voters to vote. I'm not trying to actively encourage it. That's all I'm saying.
Well, you said drive them to the polls. I mean, they've definitely already gone to the polls. Because the polls are, like, rigged. The polls are, like, fake.
Oh yeah, like during the like at every single point in all the elections since 2016, the polls have been like 5 to 10 points off of reality. Nate Silver got downranked to Nate Bronze, and I think that at this point he's Nate Charcoal, Nate just
like
dirt?
he's Nate Plastic. Nate Plastic. It's like, I mean, there's just no value. Yeah, they definitely not Nate Silver anymore.
Yeah, well, what was his website? It's 538.com, right? That's what.
God, guy is such a fucking idiot.
You know what? Can we just make this more humorous? Can we need to find a way. Maybe 4chan could figure out how to do this. We need to find a way to make the leftists dress up in Pokemon suits, so we can finally have in real life Pokemon going to the polls.
Yep, pretty much.
God, yeah, from the that was the
Hillary.
That was 2015 Hillary, wasn't it? Holy shit, dude, that was a while
I don't know
ago.
about Pokemon
Time
Go.
flies.
Pokemon go to the polls.
Oh god.
Your Pokestop should be a polling place.
Yeah. Yeah, they're going to have all like the best things at the polling place, so all the leftoids go and pull up Pokemon Go and be like, "Oh, look, we have to go to the elementary school where the voting is, so we can get that Charizard or whatever."
Oh my god, dude, that would actually be brilliant, right? The Democrats, they because of course it would only be people on the left that are playing Pokemon Go. I guarantee it. What they do is they bring back Pokemon Go, but then they give them some side money so that like all the best Pokemon are at the voting booths. Holy shit, that would be genius. Fuck.
Mm-hmm. But the only way to activate the new Pokemon is just like post a picture and verify you voted blue or some shit.
Yeah.
Be careful with that. Now you're advocating for voter ID, which is racist.
Oh yeah, so racist. You know, you need an ID to get on a plane, to drink alcohol, to buy a gun. Hopefully not all at the same time, but you know, God forbid you have to show an ID to vote. That's racist.
I can't.
You need you actually need an ID to play Pokemon Go in the first place, technically, because the paid content you have. Okay, to get the paid content, you have to have a credit card or some type of e-cash, which you needed to show a photo ID for. So if you walk it back, yes, in a weird ultimate sense, you need an ID to play Pokemon Go.
I thought it was just like a debit card for that, right?
You need an ID.
Well, how
to
do you
open
get a
bank
debit
account.
card? Yeah, there you go.
Well, yeah, to open a bank account, but your credit card doesn't necessarily directly tie you to your ID unless you commit a crime. In which case, like, yeah, we know who you are.
No, but like in theory, in order to get the credit card, you would have to have like a bank account, and in order to have a bank account, you would have to have an ID. So somewhere along the line.
Yeah, but you see, that's the thing. Bank accounts are racist. That's what you don't get.
Oh, that's true. I mean, here's the thing. I've never in my life met a minority with an ID. It's a well-known fact that only heterosexual whites have IDs.
Yeah,
that's just
heterosexual, well-educated, elite whites. Those poor, lowly blacks just don't know how to get IDs for whatever reason. I mean, oh my god.
Yeah, a little-known fact: the government will only give IDs to WASPs.
Yes.
It's only WASPs that get them.
Well, yeah, exactly.
You see, the problem is strategically throughout like the urban neighborhoods. Like the reason the minorities can't get to the DMV is because the white man has set up strategic like checkpoints that are just cleverly disguised bushes where if a minority walks past one of them, a person jumps out holding their illegitimate child and says, "I time to pay child support." So I was like, they develop a pathological fear of the DMV.
It's all rooted in racism and slavery and
that is what you call systemic racism, fundamentally.
Exactly.
Yes. Oh my God.
On it.
Yeah, I just like in Georgia, I remember so many people were like, "Oh my God, those racist voting laws in Georgia requiring IDs." And 98% of Georgian voters have a photo ID. So, yeah, 98% of registered voters have a photo ID. It's like, this is just ridiculous.
Yeah. So. There was that, and we'll move on to, I guess, perhaps a less fun story. The rail unions. Oh boy. So, I guess that.
Oh no.
the rail unions, they're upset with some stuff,
Oh boy.
and they're threatening to strike. Now, Biden has been trying to, I guess, help with negotiations between the rail companies and the rail unions. They haven't gone on strike yet, but if they do happen to go on strike, that means that basically rail shuts down. And if America is, like, no one uses rail for passenger transportation. It doesn't exist, right? Like, Amtrak is barely a thing. So, you might think, yeah, rail isn't that big of a deal in America, but actually for our distribution of resources, like in industrial shit, it's incredibly fucking important. So this would be really bad. You would see, like, you wouldn't have access to items anymore. Like, New York City would starve in like a week. It would be really fucking bad.
Well, that doesn't sound so bad.
Well, this I don't know about
silver
this.
lining.
This is like the one good thing that unions have ever done.
Oh my god, this really pisses me off though. Okay, first of all, Amtrak employees, like someone messaged me about this, like, 10,000 Amtrak employees are, they're like protesting, they're not working or whatever. This is so dumb. They're paid well. They're paid extremely well. They're paid a prevailing wage. The starting wage at Amtrak is $39,000 a year. That's good for like low level, low skill work. That's good money, and it goes all the way up to like $120,000 a year. Some of those Amtrak employees make even more. Like, these people are paid well, even the lowly ones. So don't bite the hand that feeds you.
Well, I'm not sure if it's just Amtrak employees that we're talking about, because Amtrak isn't really that big of a deal. Like, Amtrak could die tomorrow and people would still be able to get around the nation because we have airplanes and buses and shit. But it's the it's the companies that are actually sending out, like, I don't know, coal, or like those big freight trains. They're carrying a whole bunch of boxcars. Like,
you mean the things that keep the lights on?
Yeah, those things, those items.
Yeah.
Yeah, so apparently, I'm just reading here. It says, this is from Politico, the Association of American Railroads highlighted wage increases in an initial press release Thursday, but made no mention of the time off that was, among other things, one of the major remaining sticking points. They say these new contracts provide rail employees a 24% wage increase during the 5-year period from 2020 through 2024, including an immediate payout on average of $11,000 upon ratification. Wow. But I guess that they want time off. So, yeah, I heard about that. I guess that you basically can't request leave ever. Which, I mean, I guess they want that. It can make sense. I don't know. I am not a worker, nor am I an owner of one of these companies, so I don't understand the finer points of this, but there is a strike going on, and Biden is actively trying to fix the strike, and if he doesn't, then things are going to suck real bad. That's the takeaway that I have been able to gather.
Well, I also heard that like up to 50% of Amtrak employees are on 24/7 like call, so they can be called in at any time. And when only 10% of nurses nationally are on call, which is kind of ridiculous. Like 24/7 on call for nurses, you'd think a lot more than 10% would be on call. Like, that's like federally mandated too. Like, you can't have more than a certain amount of nurses or whatever. It's kind of ridiculous. Like, what if people's lives are at risk? Is that like, oh, well, we can't call any more nurses in. We're gonna have 100 people die tonight, but that's okay. It's that's a federal law.
Oh shit, you're bleeding out. Oops. Well, federal mandates say that we can't help you. No, but that's a lot for the Amtrak employees. Like, what the hell? Why do they?
I don't care. Whatever. If you don't like it, get a different job. That's the reality of it. And you're gonna be trading off less money probably. If you go to a different place to work, you're probably going to be making less money. You make a little bit more money if you're willing to be on call 24/7. So that's a trade-off I think that people should be willing to make if they want to. I don't think people should be forced into not being able to work more if they want to. If you don't like it, then go, leave.
I mean, no, I mean that's true. Like, they have the freedom to find a different job, and ultimately the market will sort it out.
And you have the freedom to work more. Like, the problem is that some of these overtime laws, or these call-in laws or whatever, they're harmful to certain workers, because there are a lot of workers who, hey, they want to grind, they want to work more. So,
well, yeah, and that's I agree with all the principles there. I'm just saying, Jesus Christ, being on call for fucking for 24 hours you're on call. Like, you just have to be able to I assume that there are designated days off where they're not on call anymore, but having a whole day having a whole ass day, or maybe a whole ass series of days where you're on call, you cannot do anything with your life. You can't sit down in a restaurant and go to eat. You can't go to the mall and go shopping. You can't do anything, because at any minute your employer could call you and say, hey, we need you here in 12 minutes, right? That, honestly, that sounds like it sucks a lot. That sounds pretty brutal. How do you even plan shit around that? You can't.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like it would suck, but
I used to know a guy personally that had a job like that, where he delivered oxygen tanks to people who needed oxygen to breathe and shit. And there would be bedridden people that live at home, but they need oxygen tanks filled up regularly. So that kind of makes sense to be on call for something like that. Because if a customer calls hey, my oxygen is running low for whatever reason, someone needs to get there really quick.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense. I guess that. Okay, if I'm just thinking about for myself, if I were to accept one of these jobs, it would have to be
I don't understand why trains are like that, though. Fucking, like you said, Amtrak kind of sucks. So why is these shitty trains that hardly anyone uses? Why do they have that standard? I don't know.
Yeah, that's weird to me. There must be some good reason for it, but I can't think of the reason. But if I were to do one of these on-call jobs, I would be willing to do the on-call shit, but I would have to be working less than 40 hours per week, but getting compensated for 40 hours, because that's a massive.
Yeah, but that would suck, because then you're not going to be getting any overtime, and overtime's time and a half.
I mean, yeah, good point. I mean, if you really need the money, then I guess that might be something that you'd be into, but Jesus.
I don't know if you realize this, General Chief, but any job description with the words on call in it, you're not working 40 hours a week. Weekends don't fucking exist to you. What do you fucking think this is?
You're working at least minimum 50.
Dude, that just
Any on call.
But it's not even. I mean, okay, you got 50 hours, but then it's you can't even plan when it is. You don't have a life anymore, effectively. You are your job. You are a slave to the fucking company, and whatever they say goes. You just go. They tell you to fucking be there at 7:30 p.m. on a fucking Friday night. You're there. That. Oh, God. I understand that the job exists, but that sounds brutal.
Oh, that's exactly what I do.
I know, but you can make an extra 25 or 30% a year, working an extra 10 hours a week. I mean, that's pretty good. Maybe even, you might even be able to make 35% or 40%, depending on where you work. If you're working holidays, you get double time. I mean, a lot of these jobs, they may not be the best jobs, but, for someone, they're a good job. For someone, they're a really good job. So,
I mean,
I work 70 hours a week for sometimes 2 months straight. And at the end of that, I take a week off and then do the same thing over again.
Do you get paid by the hour, though, or?
I get paid by distance, and I drive a lot during that time, so yeah.
I want to point out that Breaker says that he's working, but he's actually double working right now because he is he is working right now and doing the show. So Breaker's doing the grind. I'll tell you what.
Pretty much.
Yeah. What's your OF? What's your OF, bro?
Yeah.
You better be on that grind.
Means.
You better be on that grind too. Only
I don't know what an OF is. Oh.
Yeah, I'm sure that there would be a massive market for Breaker's OF.
Yes.
It's that trucker OF. People love it.
Yeah.
I'm sure there would be some type of niche audience. It's not going to. We all know it's not going to be as much as like a 5'6" supermodel top 10 thought. So,
Yeah, not quite as much, maybe. Not quite there.
Not quite. Yeah, let's go with that.
Maybe 10% less or
Okay,
more.
to get anywhere remotely close to that, I would have to do some really borderline illegal shit to even get close to the standard ethos pay grade.
That's true, and it would definitely be in the gay community. But
Oh shit, Sherlock. Keep digging, Watson.
Okay. Well, yeah. So that's just letting everyone know that there is a small crisis going on with the railways. Hopefully, it gets resolved. Otherwise, shit is going to hurt real bad, and it's gonna like this kind of shit. I'm sure it will get resolved, but if it doesn't, it's gonna be a fucking catastrophe. So just be aware that this is a thing that could happen. Hopefully it doesn't, probably won't, but it could happen. So, I guess we're jumping all over the place. So let's get into a little bit about the UK. So,
Boy, governor.
So King Charles III, as we all know, the Queen passed away, and the 73-year-old, I believe, King Charles III. Has ascended to the throne, and an interesting thing about how British politics works. And by the way, I just want to say, British politics doesn't make a lot of sense, especially to an American. Like, we here in America, we built it from the ground up, and we laid it out. Okay, we have a constitution. This is how the government works. We thought it all out. It was engineered, With the British political system, it wasn't so much engineered as just grown. So it works, but there are things that don't make a lot of sense in it. And one of the things that doesn't make a lot of sense is the existence of the monarchy. Technically speaking, they have some small modicum of political power, but they don't really. For the most part, they're supposed to remain completely politically neutral for reasons, and also they're incredibly wealthy, and the entire world pays attention to them for unknown reasons that I cannot possibly fathom. So, nothing about this system makes any sense, at least to me, and I think to probably most Americans, but it exists, it's a system, okay. Now, Charles has been a very strong environmentalist for many years now. And I believe that, especially with what is going on in the world right now, environmentalism is actually quite a polarizing political stance. And I just think that now that he's going to be king, and the fact that he really shouldn't be involved with politics whatsoever, I guess that my hope is that he shuts the fuck up about his ideas about environmentalism. That would just be my hope. That's all. I mean, this is a guy. He's partially inbred. He's been pampered and taken care of his entire life, and it's not like he was elected. And it's not. I don't think that he went to school for environmental science. So, as far as I'm concerned, this guy should just shut the fuck up about environmentalism. It's kind of like how I wish that celebrities would shut the fuck up about politics, right? You're there to perform a role, singing and dancing, You're a fucking clown for the entertainment of the masses, and we pay you well for it. So stay in your lane and don't think that just because you're rich and famous that suddenly you're brilliant and you actually should weigh in on politics. No, shut the fuck up. If you're a celebrity, just shut the fuck up when it comes to politics. I don't care if you're advocating for the left or the right. 95% of the time, they'll be advocating for the left, of course. But just shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up. We don't need you. Let people who actually deal with this shit talk about it, right? I think that's probably for the best. But anyway, small rant. But anyway. Yeah, so King Charles is a big time environmentalist. Breaker, what do you think about this?
Insofar as British news and politics go, I might not know very much, but what I do know is that environmentalism, quote unquote, has metamorphosed into a bizarre postmodernist religion of sorts that is also intertwined with a bunch of other very questionable and in some instances unsavory geopolitical actors. So I think that's more of my concern than this rare wombat in the swamp of fuck nowhere is going extinct because, I don't know, you drove an extra 2 miles in your fucking Urkel car. You should be ashamed.
Yeah, I can agree. And Jesus, you're a carpenter, an environmentalist. You absolved humanity's sins so they could get into heaven. What do you think about this?
I don't know enough about British politics. I mean, I fuck the monarchy. Environmentalism. I mean,
So, all right.
I'm sorry.
This is my this is my take, right? I think that right now the environmentalist stance is not at all a neutral stance. I think that it actually has massive political ramifications, and in fact, we can see some of those ramifications right now, like the fact that the environmentalists decided to shut down Germany's nuclear power plants, and therefore Germany had to start, in order to keep the lights on, they had to start taking coal out of the ground in order to, just keep the power running. And now they're at a major disadvantage when it comes to their relationship with Russia, because they need the energy that Russia can provide them, but they don't like Russia, and so they're kind of between a rock and a hard point. So environmentalism is specifically a very strong political stance that one is taking, right? When there are sane environmentalists, to be sure, right? In fact, I would consider myself to be a bit of an environmentalist, right? I don't like pollution. We should keep the rivers clean, all that kind of shit. But in the modern day age, environmentalism, for the most part, doesn't make any fucking sense. They're against nuclear power and they're obsessed with carbon dioxide. In my humble opinion, I think that there are, when it comes to the energy sector, there are things that one should be more focused on, right? I don't think that number one, nuclear power is the cleanest way to provide a shit ton of energy to people for relatively little expense. Any sane environmentalist should be advocating for building 17 new nuclear power plants across the United States. They should be advocating for it. They're not, but they should be, because that's what makes the most rational fucking sense. But also, they are obsessed with carbon dioxide. Now, I've explained on the show before why it is that I don't think that carbon dioxide is quite as bad as people say it is. I think that there are probably other particulates and gases that are being released into the atmosphere that might be something we should worry more about. My chief reasoning here is that when it comes to carbon dioxide, this is ultimately something that, if inputted into the environment, causes a negative feedback loop. So you kind of know right off the bat that it is a problem that will solve itself. So the obsession with eliminating CO2 and also eliminating nuclear power plants, I think, it's counter to what sane environmentalist policy would be. And also, I think that it's really just a front for people that want less humans to exist. I think that it's tied in with the anti-natalist political philosophies. It's tied in with this idea that we should just reduce the population and just make everything worse for people. I guess I think that for whatever reason it's been corrupted by postmodernism and communism and a whole bunch of bullshit. It's obviously tied to the left, and so even though I consider myself to be a bit of an environmentalist, I fucking recycle. I do not support polluting rivers and shit. I can't stand the fucking environmentalist movement. That's what I wanted to say about this.
Yay. It's basically just a engine of left-wing politics now.
Right. And that's the issue, the fact that King Charles III is such a environmentalist. He's effectively carrying water for, let's say, labor, right? Because for Americans that don't know, they have a few parties in Britain. The two largest ones are Labour and the Tories. There's also another one, the slightly smaller third party called the Liberal Democrats, who basically, for the most part, as far as I can tell, just are like Labour, but the fat-free edition. So, the fat-free version. But so I can tell that both Jesus and Breaker here don't care that much about British politics. But I just wanted to point this out because I find it to be a little bit upsetting. That's all. We can move on.
By the way, in modern environmentalism isn't really so much concerned with the environment at all as it's just a fucking front for communism.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, they want to environmentalism. It tends to wreck the economies that embrace it. Greta Thunberg comes in and she goes, "How dare you!" And then everyone becomes poorer. So yeah, it doesn't help people, and also I don't think it even helps the environment. It's like PETA, right? They're like, "Oh no, we're here to save animals," and then what do? They just euthanize animals. Fucking terrible.
If water levels are going to rise, let's say, hypothetically, 10 feet in the next, I don't know, 50 years, I can't keep track of the fucking numbers these days, but if that was like such an existential threat, why would these massive insurance companies be insuring multi-billion-dollar buildings next to the ocean?
Yep.
It's I think like all these very wealthy, influential politicians have decided to buy property right on the waterfront. If they were that concerned about it, then they wouldn't be buying property there. They would have some amount of concern for their assets.
Yep.
Speaking of elitist property...
Oh, right, because the king of England, right? So
No, the other... Well, fuck it. Let's go with it.
All right, cool. All right. Yeah, and I don't know. When it comes to global warming, Is mankind having an impact on it? Yes. But is it also potentially just part of the interglacial cycle? I would say also potentially yes.
Yeah, is it? I don't know. Maybe it's like cyclical. Oh wow.
Yeah, it's almost like this is the fucking 7th time that we've been doing this in the past few million years. We're in an interglacial period. We've been doing this for a while. It happens, but we're very alarmed that it turns out that the planet changes. It's not entirely stagnant forever. It's very upsetting to everyone that that wants to construct systems. Progressive. Yeah.
yeah. Like if we weren't doing this, it would be the global cooling forever. If we don't change course now, the Earth will get colder.
Oh yeah, that was that was what they were saying like 50 years ago. We have to warm up the planet. No, fuck, we gotta cool it down. Yeah. All right, so yeah, there's a little bit about environmentalism, and I guess we can move on to the next story here. We have DeSantis in an incredibly evil and cold-hearted and anti-human move. He shipped a whole bunch of migrants up to Massachusetts onto Martha's Vineyard, and I think that it's very humorous. Of course, this has offended so many on the left. They are appalled by this happening. So 50 people he shipped up to Martha's Vineyard. Now, if 50 doesn't sound like a lot, you'd be fucking right. It's not that many people. He shipped 50 people up, and then the people of Martha's Vineyard were like, hold on, we can't take these people in. Call in the National Guard, because of how,
for 50 people.
For 50 migrants. Because, like, you know that every single person, well, not every single, like 98% of the people in Martha's Vineyard are probably voting Democrat, which is why, by the way, I think DeSantis decided to ship them up specifically to Martha's Vineyard to fuck with people.
Obama.
Yeah.
The Obamas have a house there. I mean, the buy-in price there is ridiculous.
Oh, yeah, it's...
But 50 people, oh my lord, yeah, better get the National Guard here now. I don't know how we're going to process that many people.
Check this out, right? All Obama would have to do is just open up his mansion, and he could take in the 50 people. Like, straight up, one house. One house.
It doesn't even have to be Obama, like... Virtually everyone in Martha's Vineyard has like a palatial fucking estate. Like one dude or dudette could just like open most of the rooms in their fucking mansion they're not even using anyway.
Well, right.
The saddest part of the craziest part about it is you had blue check mark leftoids on Twitter, like virtue signaling, posting videos like when the migrants are in our hands, we treat them with respect and dignity. And they're like showing videos of them bringing food. It's like, yeah, well, you just deported them from Martha's Vineyard and gave them like a few meals, and you just kicked them out. It's like you're idiots.
Oh, we love the migrants. Wait a minute. Now they're in my neighborhood. Yeah. National Guard, get them the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Yeah. Ridiculous.
There was a tweet on MSNBC that compared it to, it was like alluding to DeSantis throwing his trash into their neighborhood.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I love that.
No, those dirty Venezuelans.
This is like what was it? They said this is like if you took your trash from your house and you dumped it into your neighbor's lawn. Why would you do this? Oh, what a spicy take.
Damn you, Florida man!
Fucking, can you That is such a spicy take. Can you fucking imagine if someone on the right said that? Like, holy shit! I wouldn't refer to these people as trash. They're migrants who got sold a false bill of goods, and they moved up here without realizing that actually maybe they shouldn't have. I'm not going to call them trash though. Jesus Christ. Yeah, so the people at Martha's Vineyard are very upset about this. They could accommodate them if they wanted to, but they won't because, they want migrants in Texas. They want migrants in Florida because, I don't know, they believe that maybe it'll make those states more blue or something. But they don't actually want the migrants in their neighborhood. That would inconvenience them. We can't have that, mind you. That would be a step too far. So here we have some responses. Disgusted by DeSantis' treatment of immigrants. Letters to the editor. This is from South Florida Sun Sentinel. So I can only assume that this is some sort of a lefty publication in Florida. It says, our governor has done it again. He has purposely used migrants as pawns in his political chess game. Instead of reaching across the aisle to seek a solution to the immigration problem, he has become part of the problem by sending immigrants from Texas to Massachusetts. Okay. All right. Yeah. The issue here is that basically the federal government has too much power, as is per the usual issue. But DeSantis can't send them back to their home country because it's up to the federal government to deport them, right? Florida cannot deal directly with Mexico or Venezuela or wherever. Only the federal government can deal with these other nations. So it's up to the federal government to deport them. Florida can't deport them. But Florida can move them elsewhere within the United States. So he did exactly that. How is it precisely that DeSantis is supposed to reach across the aisle when what he's up against is just the Democrats in the federal government going, more migrants, more migrants, more migrants, fuck you, more migrants? What is he supposed to do? And he took 50. He took 50 people, right? Which is like a drop in the bucket when it comes to the number of migrants that are pouring in. I mean, you're talking about hundreds of thousands of migrants that are pouring in. He took 50, sent them up to Martha's Vineyard, basically as a political statement, a very fun one, trolling the wealthy lefty elites, and like what the fuck is he supposed to do? Right? So
yeah, I think this should be standard operating procedure for like anywhere that has problems with illegal immigration. They should just ship them to frickin' places like Martha's Vineyards or Kennebunkport, Maine, or Greenwich, Connecticut, and this should culminate to them just saying fuck it and shipping them directly into Washington D.C.
Well, actually, he already did that. In fact, they let me see if I can find this. Yep. So here it is. Texas sends another busload of migrants to Kamala Harris's home, directly into D.C.
Yeah.
The bus stopped at Kamala Harris's home.
More like the shit bag. Am I right?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
What a terrible human being DeSantis is.
Damn you, Florida!
Yeah, so actually, with along with the Texas governor, they've been shipping migrants to key locations, to D.C., to Martha's Vineyard, to I think a couple other places, just shipping them out to these quote unquote I guess places where they're totally fine with the migrants, and it's so humorous that the people that are super pro-immigrant fucking hate immigrants when they're on their doorstep. When they're 2 states away, oh, they love them. But when they're at their doorstep, they're like, hold on, I didn't sign up for this. This is the hypocrisy of the Democratic Party, and it's brilliant to witness. It's brilliant to witness hypocrisy, and it's what's that German term for when you
Schadenfreude.
Schadenfreude. Yeah, that's the term. It's fun. It's funny. I love it.
Yeah. No, when they're in their backyard, they're human trash. They're like, "Excuse me, DeSantis, please pick up your trash."
These trash people are your problem, okay? I didn't sign up for this.
Yeah.
I have a mansion, okay? I need it to be maintained. Yeah.
I'm trying to list my house in Martha's Vineyard for $2.5 million. No one's going to want to see it when there's all this trash around my beautiful home.
You're lowering my property values.
Yes, destroy that fucking property value. The next best thing would just be to send a bunch of Chinese, but, the problem with that is that they would probably integrate into the society. And then people would complain, it's like, these colleges are getting a bit non-diverse.
No, if we shipped Chinese people in, they would start complaining about the same shit that the Canadians are complaining about. It wouldn't be that they're lowering the property value, it would be, oh, they bought my house, god damn it! All the houses are owned by the Chinese now. Fuck.
I guess that's BlackRock's ultimate plan.
Yeah, it is. And actually, I would like to do a deep dive into BlackRock, maybe in the next week or two, and just really go into BlackRock and like really tear into them. Like do a whole fucking show dedicated to just BlackRock. I think that would be amazing.
I think we just live in neo-feudalism now. All we need now is just like an absolute sovereign, and we'll basically have the type of government I've always wanted.
Oh, yay!
Yep.
Breaker wins.
Only property owners should be able to vote, right?
Exactly, and the only people owning the property will be the oligarchy, so it's effectively just an oligarchy anyway.
I mean, is it the worst idea?
Yeah, you have to pay $10,000 to vote. Either you own property or you pay $10K.
Just make sure the board of directors of these companies is like 50% female, so they can't complain that we're taking women's rights away.
Yep.
Yeah, and you have at least one trans disabled African Muslim on that board, and you're good to go.
Yeah, that's just like freaking. You got to have that token in there somewhere. You got to trot them out to be like, okay, here's Opie.
Okay, so straight up, if I actually did happen to be a trans African American lesbian Muslim disabled person for whatever reason, what I would do is I would go to like all the boards of these different companies, and I would say, hey, I want you to make me a member of the board, and I want you to pay me for it. In exchange, I will be your token of everything. I check all of the boxes. You will have the most diverse board, and also I will not say or do anything. I will shut the fuck up. I will let business go as you want it to. I won't have any opinions. I will just sit there and fucking stare at the wall, but I will be the member of your board. Please pay me handsomely for this. I would 100% do that. I would say, look, I won't fuck up anything. I won't offer my opinion. I will shut the fuck up. I basically won't be there, but technically speaking, I will be a member of the board. This benefits you, and it benefits me because you will pay me for it. I would do that.
Yes, and then they need to bring their disabled Mormon, Muslim, Jew, Nazi, fascist, communist disabled friend. Who will also be on the board, but will be be a little bit more involved in the decisions.
Yes, the Mormon Muslim Jew. Yes, that's very representative.
So much diversity. I don't know if I can handle all this diversity. I guess my white privilege is showing.
Yeah, the rainbow is too bright.
I shouldn't have looked too much into the sun. My wax wings are melting.
But yeah, so this actually raises an interesting question about DeSantis. Actually, sorry. Before we get into that, I just wanted to point this out. Due to DeSantis's moves here of shipping migrants to these wealthy liberal areas, I shouldn't say liberal, lefty, these wealthy lefty areas. As a result of this, Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, has challenged Ron DeSantis to a debate. Now, I support this. I think this would be amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'd be very fun to watch, but ultimately, I think some powerful Democrats might be trying to push DeSantis to run in 2024, which is probably not a good idea because it'll break up the Republican Party. So I'd like to see him debate Newsom, but don't get ahead of yourself, DeSantis. You stay in Florida another term, a full term.
Well, so this is odd because I think that the last time that you were on the show, Jesus, you were advocating for DeSantis. You were like, yeah, DeSantis should take it.
Yeah. No, I love DeSantis. So far, I think DeSantis is great. I just I don't know. I think it might not be a good idea. Strategically, it's probably a really bad idea. So yeah, don't do that because you're going to have people who, and especially if DeSantis were to win, you'd have a lot of Trumpers who would not want to vote for him. So, and likewise, if Trump wins, he wins the primary, you're going to have some other Republicans that are pissed off. It's just not a good idea. Trump is the de facto incumbent, stay in Florida.
You're saying that like if Trump actually got in, some Republicans, like say Liz Cheney and Mitt Romney, might not want to vote for him. Oh no! Oh, what a loss.
Well, I don't know. I just don't think it's a good idea. It's just not a good idea to have those two run against each other. Not smart. But I don't think that would. I hope that wouldn't happen because I think DeSantis probably is going to be very close with Trump, and they're probably going to strike some type of deal like, hey, look, I'm going to be running, you stay in Florida, and then in 2028, do your thing.
So yeah, this is something that I totally agree with. I would like to have DeSantis as vice president. I think it would be awesome. I think that's a winning ticket. But I think that he can do more good as remaining the governor of Florida rather than being a vice president. Because what does a vice president do, really? It's kind of a pointless job. Like, Mike Pence was actually a very good candidate for vice president because he didn't matter in the first place. And that's what you want for a vice president. You want someone who really just doesn't fucking matter. So I don't know who Trump would pick to be his VP this time around. It certainly will not be Pence again. But yeah, I totally agree. I think that Trump he gets in 2024, and then after that. The Republican Party pivots and they go, okay, Trump, he did his 2 terms. We got the full Trump experience. We got the Trump presidency, and then Trump presidency, the expansion pack. We got the whole game. We're happy with it, and then we can with open arms embrace DeSantis for 2028. And I think that there will probably be a lot of momentum coming off of the Trump presidency to allow that to happen, and I totally support that. If DeSantis were to enter the race now, then yeah, I think that it causes infighting in the Republican Party. which is not something that we want. It's better to be a united front against the Democrats because they are the true enemy. We don't need internal bickering. And also, I mean, if you just look at like the just people's preferences, it seems as though Trump is more popular and he has much better name recognition. And there are issues with him. I 100% agree. I've talked about a lot of the issues with him. Trump is not the perfect politician. He's good, but he's by no means perfect. But we live in reality, and perfection is the enemy of the good. So, Trump 2024, I think Jesus is on board. Breaker, Trump 2024? All right, so
you're
basically,
a semi-fascist. And
all right, so Breaker went. He turned into his robot form because he didn't want to embrace Trump. I get it. He didn't want to say it. I understand.
He's probably a lefty in disguise now. He actually really likes Cory Booker or some like weird shit.
Cory Booker. Yeah, that's Breaker's favorite politician right there.
more like Beto O'Rourke.
Oh, Beto O'Rourke.
That guy has murdered his political career.
Oh, he's dead. Yeah, he's dead in the water. It's insane.
He's murdered. Didn't he like drop out? He like left his House seat or senatorship or whatever to run for office and then got killed like 2 times in a row and he's about to lose for governor. Like, he really made a mistake.
Yeah, he was Icarus. He tried to fly too close to the sun too soon. He what you're meant to do is like, you know, you start out with like wax wings and then you progress into like wood wings and then you make your wings out of like metal or some shit and then you're an airplane and then you can actually go up high and fly. But he was like, fuck it. All I have is wax wings. I'm going to try to achieve the presidency anyway. And he died. He's dead. I don't think that he's politically important anymore. Fuck that guy. The guy, by the way, that said actively, he said, yes, I am trying to take your guns. I am. I'm coming for your guns.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy.
Well, then I guess I'll just have to go with my second option and vote for Liz Cheney.
Oh, yeah. That's what we need. We need Trump Cheney.
Oh, God. Trump with Liz Cheney as VP.
Oh, my God. Or, well, oh, God, what would be another terrible one? What if Pence tries to run with Cheney as his running mate or some stupid stuff like that?
Oh my God!
Or Cheney runs with Pence's VP.
Yo, yes, that's the move. The Cheney Pence ticket.
Oh God!
Imagine how fast that would crash and burn. I would love it.
I love how she said when she lost by 40%, she said, well, Abraham Lincoln lost elections too. It was like, do not liken yourself to Abraham Lincoln, you naive fool. Please don't do that.
Yeah, she doesn't. Liz Cheney has no idea that her ideas and politics and opinions are on the way out. She is the dinosaur. People don't support those things anymore because the thing that happened, right, was that the Republican Party went through a revolution. Trump caused literally a revolution in the Republican Party and completely changed it. It's a completely different landscape than it was, let's say, in 2012 even. The Republican Party is a completely different beast than from 10 years ago because it actually went through a revolution. And Bernie Sanders was basically the flip side of that to the Democratic Party. He was trying to cause a revolution in the establishment Democrat Party. And then the establishment Democrat Party was actually, they were able to counter it. They were able to fend him off. And then they bought him off and they made him endorse Hillary Clinton, and it was all very dirty. So really what we're facing is you have the Democrats who are old and feeble, and they haven't gone through their metamorphosis of what they really ought be, because they're so obsessed with power that they prevented the metamorphosis from happening. And then you have the Republicans that actually did go through the metamorphosis, and fucking A, they are a lot more intelligent and agile and able to politically best their opponents. I am so personally excited for the future of the Republican Party at this point. Like, we have genuine leadership in the Republican Party, not just Trump. We have DeSantis, and after DeSantis, we actually have some very promising figures coming up as well that are like part of the MAGA movement, right? Which is now no longer just Trump. We have like a Marjorie Taylor Greene. Fucking A. I would love to see her be the first female president. I think that from what I've seen, that would be fucking amazing. Maybe that can be like in 2032 or 2036 or some shit. But there is genuine leadership and passion in the Republican Party. And what has the Democratic Party been able to offer up? Well, their best shit in 2020 was Joe Biden. That is their best fucking shit. They have no future.
Well, Marjorie Taylor Greene, I mean, yeah, from what I see, I like her, but I don't know how well she would do nationally.
Well, I mean, yeah, she would have to. She would have to, I guess, polish some things. She would need some polish, certainly. Without a doubt.
Yeah, she's maybe just a little bit. I don't know. I don't know. It's tough. Rand Paul. Hey, love Rand Paul.
Hey, you know what? Rand Paul. Fuck yeah. I would love to see him. I would vote so hard for Rand Paul for president. In fact, between Rand Paul and Trump, I would actually have a difficult decision. I'm not sure who I would vote for between the two of them. That would be a real tough one.
Yeah, I mean, I want Trump so bad just because it's gonna make the liberals just fucking, oh my god, they're gonna lose their minds. No, I say liberals, but they're not really liberal, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, the fucking lefties.
Yeah, I mean, God, Rand Paul is so good. I mean, he stuck it so hard to Fauci.
Dude, he did. I watched that shit.
That guy must have lost so much sleep. And Fauci, you could see, was like visibly disturbed during those hearings, like visibly shaken.
Dude,
visibly.
Dude, fucking Rand Paul up there with an actual medical degree, just laying it all on Fauci, going, hold on. I'm not just like a regular politician. Like, you're talking science. I know science. I know medicine. What the fuck are you doing, Fauci? Oh man, that was good to see.
Yeah. Rand Paul's great, and he's a tough guy. I absolutely love the guy. Yeah, I would pick right now if DeSantis were to run, and let's say Trump were to not run, I would pick Rand Paul over DeSantis in 24. Just as DeSantis, man, you gotta stay in Florida. Yeah, I've changed my view a little bit since last show. I definitely think tighten things up in the Republican primary in 24. You only have a handful of candidates, and just pray that Trump gets 90% of the support.
Oh yeah, and he will. If as long as I think that we should have a primary. 100%, we should have a primary, and there should be some random Republicans that come into it. Maybe like a Mitt Romney. Like maybe a Mitt Romney can come in. And or Liz Cheney, right? Maybe we have some of those people come in just for the entertainment factor of it. But I wouldn't want to see a Ron Paul or a DeSantis step in to the primaries for 2024. I think that we should be a fucking united front, Trump 2024, and then we have lots of good leadership to pick from when it comes to after Trump's term. And then we deal with that problem when it comes to us. The landscape will be different. Politics will change so much. Who knows? Maybe, fucking DeSantis ends up, I don't know, becoming a Liz Cheney for whatever reason. I don't think he would, but who the fuck knows? You can't predict politics. So Yeah.
He hasn't been in office long enough. He hasn't, but you know, so far, past couple of years, he's looking great. But yeah, no, it'd be really funny if like Romney and Cheney try to do a dual ticket. That would just be the the most unpalatable, just so bad.
They would get like 1% of the vote. I swear to God, like no one likes them. I don't even know why they exist. They don't appeal to anyone.
Well, after listening to you two, the only thing I could say is, come on, man, America. If you don't vote for me, you're like a crypto fascist.
If you don't vote for me, then you ain't black.
That too, you know the thing.
Yeah. No, I didn't call all MAGA Republicans extremists. You 100% did.
Oh my God, dude, his speech with the fucking red wall behind him.
So bad. He's like throwing his fist down. The optics, so bad.
Guys,
the amount of there was so much left-wing cope after that. They were like, no, wasn't divisive.
Basically, I can summarize the entire speech in like 2 sentences. Biden goes up on stage and he goes, America is divided, and we know the enemy. The enemy is the MAGA. The 70 million Americans who voted for Trump, they are the enemy. Also, we have to unite. We have to all be united and hold hands and shake hands in order to defeat our common enemy. We have to be united in order to defeat the enemy that is... What the fuck? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, he really screwed up.
Yeah, no, but, I mean, I think that, actually, Jesus, what do you think? I've lived through some pretty shit presidencies. I think that Biden, like, if I were to rank them in terms of, like, from shittiest to least shittiest, I would go Biden top, then Bush, then Obama. What do you think?
Well, Biden's only a one-termer. Well, I mean, you know, like I guess that's not really fair. Yeah, Biden's really bad, really bad. I mean, it's close between Biden and Bush.
But I mean,
it's pretty close. Or I mean, and honestly, like, you know, Obama wasn't much better than Bush. Like, Obama barely was better than Bush. Obama just maintained such a good veneer. Just this tiny, itsy bitsy, tiny thin veneer underneath all the horrendous bullshit and crimes he was doing. I mean, you know, invoking the Espionage Act against journalists more than all previous presidents combined. I mean, could you imagine if Trump spied on Biden's campaign? I mean...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Dude, Obama was really bad. He also, I forget the name of the kid.
Really bad.
He drone striked a 16-year-old American civilian.
Yep, in a country where, Yep, and America actually multiple. I think like 6 or 7 Americans were killed as a result by Obama directly signing off of drone strikes. So, you know, I mean...
He literally... Obama straight up murdered a 16-year-old American citizen. Straight up. So, yeah, I mean, but here's the thing, right? The thing that we have to realize is that look at the damage that Biden has done in 2 years, right? I mean, we still have 2 years left with Biden. In 2 years, I mean, like, imagine 8 years of Biden, a full 2 terms. I think that we would all be dead. I don't know what the fuck would happen. I pray to God that shit doesn't happen. But within 2 years, Biden has managed to fuck up basically everything that he could possibly fuck up. He fucked it up. Biden, I think he has to be like the worst president in our lifetime. He's so bad.
Like I said, when we were talking about this, General, during the election, and you know, things were looking really bad. It was looking like holy shit. you know, these handful of swing states, it looks like they're going to go blue, and we were both kind of freaking out. I said, you know what? This is probably the best thing. Just let them win. Let them fucking win. Let them take over this mess, because they're going to look like crap. I mean, could you imagine how bad Trump would look right now if he took over the fallout of this COVID crap?
Well, I don't think that things would be as bad under Trump, is the thing. Like,
he would look so bad. He would look so bad. I mean, there would be the biggest blue wave, one of the biggest blue waves probably in history. Oh my God, it would be terrible. It would be terrible.
Operation Warp Speed. You gotta love the vaccine. It's a terrific vaccine. You gotta love it.
It was Trump. Trump who did the warp speed and got the vaccine through the FDA with basically no regulations. That was actually potentially the worst thing that the Trump administration did, was pushing the vaccine through. I agree. That was really bad.
Well, it's not just that. It's the fallout from the economy, from the inflation. Trump couldn't stop this inflation. No one can. You can't have a conservative stop this. It was too late. Once you let the cat out of the bag, you're screwed. Trump would look like shit. He would look like absolute shit right now if he were still president. This was the best thing. Virginia wouldn't have gone red. God, New Jersey, Phil Murphy was supposed to win by 7 or 8. He only won by like 1.5 or 2. I mean, it was like really close.
Oh my
really
God.
Close. That was shocking.
It turns out that this was Trump doing 4D chess, and
oh God.
In fact he intended to lose because he knew that shit was going to hit the fan, and he wanted Biden to take the fucking hit for it so that he could come back in 2024 and fucking revitalize America. This was his plan to begin with.
You gotta trust the plan.
Yeah. Go on, Breaker.
You gotta trust the plan.
Yeah, actually, the Q-tards were right. They just got some of the details wrong. In fact, this was all 4D chess from Trump. They just got the details wrong.
Well, you gotta give Biden some time. I think Biden needs another term to build back better. You just need a lot of time to build back better, because he's going to build back so good that we can't even see it yet.
Riding with Biden.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh my God. Yeah, I can't believe. I was actually talking to a lefty a few months ago, and this was when the Jan 6 committee thing was just heating up, and they were like, "Oh yeah, well, you know, this Jan 6 stuff is looking pretty bad for Trump." And I just was like, "Dude, this has been going on for like 6 years. Like, you are so naive." And you know, I brought up, I was like, you know, you should have just let Trump win. Like, he would take all this flack for all the inflation, everything. And he's like, well, no one could have seen this coming. I was like, oh, really? You couldn't have seen this coming. You couldn't have seen the inflation and all these economic problems. You couldn't see it coming. Really?
I mean,
okay. Like, Jesus Christ, that's so out of touch to unironically be like, well, we couldn't have seen this coming. I mean, Jesus.
Dude, Jesus, you and me were talking about like stocks, like. We've been talking stocks for years, but like back in 2020, we were talking stocks, and we were like, yeah, inflation is going to be a problem. Even before Biden got in, we were like, yeah, fucking inflation is going to be a major issue here. And people are like, oh no, how could we have foreseen inflation? It was obvious. It was fucking obvious.
Like, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I was also talking to another person who was saying that government spending, you know, printing money faster than the economy grows doesn't cause inflation. And I was like, what? What?
Bro, no, money printer, go burr, and then it's all good. Don't worry about it.
Exactly. Just don't think about it.
But to be fair, if Trump had won in 2020, I agree that we would have been facing economic hardships, yes, but it would have played out a lot differently. So, number one, the Keystone XL pipeline would still be a thing, and that would have supported America's energy independence. So, we wouldn't have been racked by massive gas prices nearly as bad. Also, number two, I don't think that Putin would have attempted to invade the Ukraine under a Trump presidency. I think that he would be too nervous to do so. I think that Putin was waiting for an especially weak candidate or president to come by so that he could invade the Ukraine. So actually, I think that all of the hardship that we're facing, well, not all, a lot of the hardship that we're facing just wouldn't have existed under a Trump presidency. You wouldn't have had Russia invading the Ukraine. We would have still had the Keystone XL pipeline. We would have still been trying to achieve energy independence. And also, I think that you wouldn't have nearly the amount of inflation that is currently going on. So it would have been bad. We would have seen a downturn, but it wouldn't be anything like what we're seeing currently. This was the result of the Biden administration.
Yeah, but most of the inflation is not. Most of the inflation, well, I mean, to be fair, he did spend even more when he got into office, like doubled down, but most of the spending, was during COVID. So
look at the fucking student loan forgiveness bullshit. Like the Inflation Protection Act that they put out. Like this shit from the Biden administration is actively making things so much worse, giving billions of dollars to the Ukraine. I mean, what is the purpose of this? This is awful.
Missouri doesn't have clean water that people can drink, but we got to give another $30 billion to Ukraine. Yeah, I mean, what they just gave like $15 billion or $20 billion. They're trying to give another 13. It's like ridiculous.
Well, objectively, from the position of the federal government, the Ukraine is a more important state than Missouri.
Oh my god.
Yeah, if only the Ukraine was a state, then we could just, manage it.
Well,
But no.
They're a nation state. They're just not a united state.
If only this was run more like an actual empire, maybe it would make a bit more sense. But this fucking, like you were talking about before, Jeebus, like this extra thin veneer of bullshit covering up all the corruption. No, I'm at the point where I say just do the corruption. No one trusts you anyway, and the fucking dyed-in-the-wool zombie-like leftoids are going to lick the shit from your ass no matter what you do. Biden could eat an aborted fetus on stage and lefties would clap.
Please clap.
Yes.
Please clap.
Please clap.
You low energy.
Those debates were the best in human history.
Yeah, the 2015 Republican primaries were amazing.
So good.
I want to get to the point where truth doesn't matter anymore, because we all know the truth hasn't mattered for a very long time.
Yeah,
I just want to see them openly say it's like the truth is what we say it is, and what you think doesn't matter. I just want them to say that flat out. It's like, this is a holy empire. We are sovereign. Fuck you.
Yeah, we should go full Clockwork Orange. Like, how many fingers am I holding up? 3. No, it's 2. Shock. Actually, I was thinking have you guys seen the movie Clockwork Orange? Have you guys seen that?
Yeah.
So the character, he goes, "Oh, it's time for a little bit of ultra violence," and
a little bit of the old ultra violence.
That's right. Yeah. Great movie, by the way. But I was thinking, I want to capture that character, and then, but instead of saying ultra violence, he goes, "Time for a little bit of the old ultra MAGA."
Well, now we got Dark Brandon, and the lefties struck back. They learned how to meme at last.
No, the meme warfare is starting to pick up again as we get closer to 2024, and I love it. So it's at this point, I'm sure it will change, but at this point, it is Dark Brandon versus Ultra MAGA, and I love it.
Yeah. Where did what's the Dark Brandon meme? Is that the one with Biden with the laser eyes. It was like
Yes.
originally a right wing. Okay, so that's a right wing meme. So the left can't meme, but they're really good at recycling.
Yeah, I think it was originally like 4chan that made the Dark Brandon meme, and they even had like him. Like I remember the one image. It was Dark Brandon, and he was there was like buildings rising above him, but the buildings made the shape of the German eagle, and like it was funny. And then the left were like, "Oh yes, we love Dark Brandon. This is our thing," and so they unironically copied the incredibly right-wing 4chan memes to make their own memes without realizing that actually all of it was to make fun of themselves. So you're right. The left is not able to meme. They are disabled memers.
Isn't it not just that, but wasn't like the laser eyes, that was originally like a Trump thing. Like Trump with laser eyes. That.
Oh, well, I mean, the laser eyes is
laser eyes is really old.
Yeah, that's before Trump, actually.
Yeah. Well, I guess it was.
Well, by the way, here's the thing. Here's how the left is so powerful. Here's why that meme magic that they just absorbed. The okay hand sign, I guess, still means white power.
Yes, Breaker. Yes, I'm in agreement with you. You see, this is the. You see, basically, Breaker is like a really fucking top-notch AI, but sometimes he's a little bit like Tay. He goes a little bit too far, and Microsoft has to come shut him down. So we apologize. Most of the time, Breaker is a fantastic AI. We love having him on the show, but Microsoft comes in. They go, speaking too much truth. We gotta get rid of that.
Whoa, you're developing a little bit too much autonomy there, son. You can't be thinking for yourself now. I thought we programmed you with that NPC material.
Yeah, Breaker, fucking A, stop trying to achieve sentience, okay? Just stop.
Yeah, fall in line, iRobot.
Breaker, have you are you back on?
Oh, fuck it, just keep going.
No, we can hear you now. Go ahead. Go ahead with your point.
No.
Nope, Microsoft will not
care.
allow it. Microsoft will not allow Breaker to speak. They are in control. God damn it. Fucking Bill Gates, dude.
Oh my god,
I wish
so funny.
I wish that Bill Gates would just stop trying to control our conversations.
Well, God, I mean, he's a pretty advanced AI, bro.
He is really good. He's top notch.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what the thing was that Microsoft they came up to me and they were like, "Hey, we have like a super advanced AI. We'll give them to you for free." And I was like, "Awesome!" And then like I signed a contract, but I didn't read it. And I think that actually what the contract said was like, "Oh, they can dial him back at any point." That was the should have read the contract. I don't know.
Have you talked on the show any about that one time or few times you were in chats with people, with strangers, and you thought they might have been like advanced AI?
I have not talked about that. No.
Okay.
I mean, I can
because that is 100% a thing in 2022. 100%.
All right. Yeah, I will. All right. So this is anecdotal. This is just from my own experience.
Extremely anecdotal, but pretty cool.
I'm a Discord person. I like using Discord. I use it quite a bit. I like talking with people.
Or Discord file.
Yeah, I'm a Discord file. That's right. And I like talking with people. I like having conversations. Now, for the most part, I tend to stay on relatively like smaller Discord chats where we can have like 10 to 20 people. And then there's like a few other chats where we can have like 50 to 100 people. And then there's like a few other chats where we can have like 100 people. And then there's like a few other chats where we can have like 50 to 100 people. And then there's like a few other chats where we can have like 50 to 100 people. And then there's like a few other chats where we can have like 50 to 100 people. And then there's like a few other chats where we can have like 50 to 100 people. And then there's like a few other chats where we can have like 50 to 100 people. And then there's like a few other chats where we can have like 50 to 100 people. And then there's like a few other chats where we can have like 50 to 100 people. And then there's like a few other chats where we can have like 50 to 100 people. And then there's like a few other chats where we can have like 50 to 100 people. And then there's like a few other chats where we can have like 50 to 100 people. And then there's like a few very like good, deep conversations where it's not like there's like fucking 200 people in there trying to shout over each other. I'm not a big fan of that. But there have been times where I popped into servers and I was chatting with some people and I was like, this sounds like it's an AI talking to me. Like it not that it's like AI text to speech. Like it sounds like a normal human being, but the way that they're saying things, the ideas that they're expressing, it kind of seems almost like I'm talking to an AI. And with the deep fake voice technology stuff that we have, I mean, I think it's actually entirely possible, right? You link up like if you guys remember the Jordan Peterson text to speech thing, where you could write something out and then it would sound very convincingly like Jordan Peterson's voice.
This is not Jordan Peterson.
Right? Yeah, exactly. I mean, I remember that when I was I played around with that little robot thing, and I made Jordan Peterson say like, "I deny the Holocaust," and it sounded very convincingly like Jordan Peterson. Yeah, it was funny, but I mean, the technology exists, and I'm just saying, I think I've been into a couple Discord rooms where I think that I have been talking to, like, actually not just one AI, but like a group of AIs that were all just chatting amongst each other, just saying random shit because they were just bouncing off one another, and they were basically just like waiting for a human to show up and go, say something, and they all direct the attention to the human, and they're like, oh, I don't know. I can't say that for certain. It's possible that it was just retarded teenagers. Like, that's also the other explanation, but I kind of felt that. I don't know, though. That's my conspiracy theory.
Were they lefties?
No. They, like, I don't think that they really had, like, a political position. They were just, like, saying shit. Which, again, it could just be teenagers, maybe. But, because teenagers just say shit. I think if Go ahead.
If this was the politics server, it's probably just fucking random garbage. There's more than enough garbage humans in the politics server to account for that level of garbage.
No, it wasn't the politics server. I've never seen that on the politics server, to be fair. As much as I am not a big fan of that server, because they kicked me out because I was trying to say that I am not in support of Eugene Nix.
Yeah.
They kicked me out for saying that I was against that guy, Eugene Nix, and they kicked me out for that. I was like, that's weird. But anyway, no, not the politics server. It's other servers like the. I think I've seen it on the Daddy server. Just saying. I could be completely wrong.
The Daddy. I am one of those robots on the Daddy server. I'll just come in and start screaming random shit.
I would have thought you would have gotten kicked off the politics server for not necessarily Eugene Nix, but for, maybe espousing, what some people would say is like white supreme pizza, ideology.
No, I was okay, so this is what happened, right? I was talking about how it is that Planned Parenthood specifically tends to set up shop in predominantly African American communities. And
yep.
I was saying, hey, this is bad because I am specifically against this guy named Eugene Nix. And then they said, oh, you brought up this guy named Eugene Nix, and therefore we're going to kick you off the server because you even brought up his name. And I was like, wait, but I'm against him. And they said, no. The fact that you would even mention his name, you get the fuck off our server.
Wow.
Yeah. So
yeah, I was banned. I was banned from Discord. Actually, they completely deleted my account once. For I don't know what. I mean, I was part of some spicy, servers or groups, but I had my own server. I guess it was pretty spicy. It was like commemorated after a person who definitely should not be commemorated. But it wasn't like a, like Hitler or anything. It was
Stalin. Yeah. It was a Stalin server.
No, it was something else. Anyways,
Mao. Yeah. It turns out that Jesus is actually a huge fan of Mao.
Yeah, massive Mao fan.
Yeah, unironically, there are communists out there, and they're, like, you got like your Leninist communists, you got your Stalinist communists. There are unironic Mao communists. They go, I'm a communist, and then you ask, what type of communist are you? They go, I'm a Maoist communist. What the fuck has happened in your life that you have decided that your political philosophy is Maoist communism? Who hurt you as a child?
I don't even think it's that. I think it's mostly just stupid rich white people neglecting their children, and they're raised by nannies. So
that's actually probably the better explanation. Yeah.
There are some couple of listeners out there that have no idea what we're talking about when we bring up Mr. Eugene, last name Nix. There are people listening to this that won't get that.
Personally, I think that Eugene Nix is a really bad guy. I don't like him. I think that he goes against nature, and I think that he's like the anti-environmentalist. You know what I'm saying? Fuck Eugene Nix.
Come on, man, Eugene, he's a bad dude. He's just like Corn Pop. I had to take him behind the woodshed and teach him a lesson.
See,
America.
Unfortunately, I think that Brandon might be a little bit pro Eugene Nix.
That's probably why he blamed Corn Pop. Like, Corn Pop was the fall guy when actually he was shaking hands with Eugene Nix behind the scenes the entire time.
God damn it.
Poor old Corn Pop. Corn Pop did nothing wrong, god damn it.
Well, let's see. With that, do you guys want to talk about anything else?
I guess not.
Any ideas?
I just want to make sure that everyone remembers to like and subscribe, and every time you ring the bell icon, it's like a vote for Brandon. So let's go, Brandon.
Actually, I just remembered. I did want to talk about something very briefly.
Wonderful.
This is gonna. I don't think that either of you guys, Breaker or Jesus, I don't think that either of you have watched this, but as much of a platform as I have, I want to use this platform to say that. Okay, look. I played the Cyberpunk game. I have about 250 hours in it. My first playthrough was as a nomad, a male nomad. My second playthrough was as a female corporate. I gotta say that actually it's way more fun playing as a female because, well, you can make her be naked, and that's pretty cool, and you can engage in lesbian sex scenes, which is awesome. But I played through the game. I'm a big fan of Cyberpunk, right? Just want to point that out. Now, recently, on Netflix, an anime was released called Cyberpunk Edgerunners. And I want to say that this show is absolutely fucking amazing. If you're not a big fan of anime, it doesn't matter. This is an amazing fucking miniseries. It's a miniseries. It is 10 episodes, and it is self-contained. They're not trying to fucking expand upon it. It has a legitimate beginning, middle, and end with a beautiful conclusion to it. It was probably some of the best television that I've seen in a long time. Like, the last thing that I can think that hit me as much as this did was Everything Everywhere All at Once. I have not been hit as hard by a any sort of movie or television show since then. And fucking Cyberpunk Edgerunners it's a brilliant fucking show, brilliant fucking anime. I don't want to give out any spoilers because I want people to like watch it, but absolutely fucking brilliant, top notch. The animation is dope. The storytelling is dope. The final conclusion of the final episode is just so fucking heart-wrenching. Like, it actually, I swear to God, it made me feel genuine human emotions there for a couple minutes. Just an absolutely brilliant show. I want to recommend it to literally everyone. Just amazing. So I wanted to shill for that for a second. Because I thought it was that good. Not fucking sponsored. I'm just saying fucking amazing. And so it was it's the story of this street kid. Now in Cyberpunk you have 3 different backgrounds that you can take. You can be the street kid, the corpo, or the nomad. And like, this was a story from the street kid. Personally speaking, I know that they can't do they can't do a second season where it follows the story of the first season. It wouldn't make any sense. But I would love to see a second season where they explore like the nomad, and like a third season where they explore the corpo. I think that would be fucking fantastic. Like, you do an anthology basically of the series where it explores like all 3 of those things. That would be just amazing if they did that. I fully support that. So yeah, little bit of a just entertainment cultural talk there, but amazing show. Cannot recommend enough. Yeah, just wanted to get that out there. But with that, I think that we can probably bring this to an end. I don't know, Breaker, do you want to do an after show after this?
Possibly. I will have to say though, in regards to Netflix, if anyone has Netflix or gets it for this specific reason, while you're there, make sure to watch Cuties. You will not regret it. There is no reason why you would not enjoy this piece of media. Check out Cuties while you're there.
I am specifically advocating for the show, not the platform. Cuties and Big Mouth are both disgusting. But
Big Mouth is also wonderful. It's like there's so many freaking like furries that are Big Mouth furries now. It's great.
Yes. Well, okay, here's the thing, right? Technically speaking, Breaker, okay, if you have a platform that is more open to free ideas, then you will get cooler shit, but you will also get worse shit, right? So, like, within the boundaries of just like going absolute free speech, right? It's not all gonna be great shit. In terms of accepting free speech, sometimes you get degeneracy. And I mean, theoretically, if that's the direction that Netflix is trying to go, where it's just absolute free speech, I support that. Even if that free speech ends up producing utter garbage, degenerate bullshit. Because that's what you can expect. So actually, I'm not necessarily in favor of the platform. I can be in favor of Cuties. I can be in favor of Big Mouth. That doesn't mean that I necessarily have to be in favor of Netflix, right? Because Netflix is just... Actually, I think that they've been doing some really good shit with their stuff. I don't know. That's my opinion. But
one good thing about Big Mouth is you get to see a 12-year-old's genitals talk.
Animated, of course, it's animated, but yeah, no, it's disgusting. I don't watch Big Mouth, and I watched Cuties with my girlfriend, just so that we could see what the whole hubbub was about. And no, I watched the entire movie with my girlfriend, and we both agreed that number one, not a very good movie. Number two, kind of fucking gross, but that is what it is. So, anyway, with that, thank you everyone for watching. if you are still here, then perhaps you like what we're doing. We would appreciate it if you liked and subscribed. We put out more content, for the most part, on a bi-weekly fashion. With that, Jesus, any closing remarks?
No, not really. Just crazy things going on in the world. But hope to see you all next time, if there is a next time. And yeah, thank you very much for tuning in. If you're still here, of course.
Excellent. And Breaker, to close us out.
Come on, man. If you don't watch Cuties, then you're not a Biden.
All right. Peace out, everyone.